Marlene Dietrich's recording career spanned 60 years, from 1928 until 1988. She introduced the songs Falling in Love Again, Can't Help It, from the film The Blue Angel, and See What the Boys in the Back Room Will Have, from Destry Rides Again. She first recorded her version of Lily Marlene in 1945. Her first long-playing album was Marlene Dietrich Overseas, was a prestige success for Columbia Records in 1950. She also recorded several duets with Rosemary Clooney in the early 1950s. These tapped into a younger market and charted. During the 1960s, Dietrich recorded several albums and many singles, mostly with Burt Bacharach at the helm of the orchestra. Dietrich in London, recorded live at the Queen's Theatre in 1964, is an enduring document of Dietrich in concert. In 1978, Dietrich's performance of the title track from her last film, Just a Gigolo, was issued as a single. She made her last recordings, spoken introductions to songs for a nostalgia album by Udo Lindenberg, from her Paris apartment in 1987. Dietrich told Maximilian Schell in his documentary, Marlene, 1984, that she thought Marlene synced Berlin Berlin, 1964, her interpretations of Berliner popular songs from the start of the 20th century, was her best album. Long-playing albums, 1951 to 1988, recordings first issued on LP albums, 1951, Marlene Dietrich Overseas, 1954, Live at the Café de Paris, 1959, Dietrich in Rio, 1960, Wiedersehen mit Marlene, 1965, Die Neue Marlene, 1965, Marlene synced Berlin, Berlin, 1965, Dietrich in London, as featured artist, 1988, Hermine, Udo Lindenberg synced Lieder von 1929 bis 1988, asterisk spoken verse introduction to Illusions and When ich mir was wünschen dürft, selected compilations, 1949, Souvenir album, 1952, MD, Live 1932 to 1952, 1959, Lil Marlene, 1969, Marlene Dietrich, 1973, The Best of Marlene Dietrich, 1974, Das war mein Miljo, 1982, Her Complete Deca Recordings, 1992, The Marlene Dietrich Album, 1992, Art Deco Marlene Dietrich, 2007, Marlene Dietrich with the Burt Bacharach Orchestra, 2015, The Ultimate Collection, CD compilations which include previously unreleased studio recordings, The Blue Angel, the original recordings, Pro Arte, 1990, CDD 517, includes a parody of See What the Boys in the Back Room Will Have recorded in 1941 for the rap party of The Lady Is Willing. The Marlene Dietrich Album, Sony Music, 1992, MDK 47254, first issue of Baubles Bangles and Beads, recorded 1952, and A Guy What Takes His Time, 1953, Cosmopolitan Marlene Dietrich, Sony Music 1993, first issue of La Vie en Rose, No Love, No Nothin', Something I Dreamed Last Night, Let's Call It a Day, all recorded 1952, and Falling in Love Again and Lily Marlene, both recorded 1953, Der Blonde Engel, Emmy, 2001, first issue of When ich mir was wünschen dürft, alternate take, recorded 1930, Alatage First Kein Sonntag, recorded 1954, and Kimi Delivera, 1955, CD compilations which include previously unreleased concert recordings, Der Blonde Engel, Emmy, 2001, first issue of My Baby Just Cares for Me, recorded in 1961 at the Erie Crown Theater, Chicago, and I Refuse to Rock and Roll, recorded in 1955 at the Sahara Hotel's Congo Room in Las Vegas. Marlene Forever, Universal, 2002, first issue of Moon River, recorded in 1962 at the Paris Olympia. Many of Dietrich's numerous radio performances have been included on compilations of her music. The Polish label Wi-Fi issued a cassette tape of a Dietrich concert, recorded in Warsaw in 1966. In 1992, catalog number MC283, the release contained the following tracks: I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Baby, You're the Cream in My Coffee, My Blue Heaven, See What the Boys in the Back Room Will Have, The Laziest Gal in Town, Sure Haddon, La Vie en Rose, Johnny, Go, Way From My Window, Don't Smoke in Bed, Lola, Marie Marie and Frag nicht War mit Geha, a limited special edition of the book Photographs and Memories, published in 2001 by Nicolai, Berlin, included a recording of the soundtrack of Dietrich's 1963 filmed concert at Bern's Salonger as an audio CD bonus. The Marlene Dietrich Collection. Berlin's archival holdings include soundtrack pre-recording discs and unissued radio and concert recordings. The following of Dietrich's studio recordings remain unreleased. Du liegst mir im Herzen, 2000, Aus der Jugendzeit, Das Zerbrochene Ringlein, True Liebe, all recorded July 1954 with Jimmy Carroll and Orchestra, and Watch Air, M in the Old Kent Road, recorded in 1955 with Wally Stott and Orchestra. Singles, 1928 to 1954, recordings first issued on 78 revolutions per minute records. Singles, 1957 to 1978, recordings first issued as 7.45 revolutions per minute, except where noted otherwise. Singles, OS recordings, 1944-1945. Dietrich recorded the following tracks in Washington in 1944-1945 for OS use. Mein Mann ist verhindert, Sag mir du, ich hab, die ganze Nacht geweint. Gib doch den Männern Stammtisch IHR Gift, wo die Wiesen sind. Fräulein Annie wohnt schon lang nicht hier. Schlittenpferd, nun kam die Zeit. Du hast, nen Blick, ich heirat nie. Lily Marlene. These recordings were not meant for commercial issue. Gib doch den Männern Stammtisch IHR Gift, ich heirat nie and Du hast, nen Blick were issued for the first time in 2001 under Blonde Engel, Emmy 7242-5-27567-2-7. All the other tracks remain unissued, with the partial exception of Lily Marlene, with its massive success on the war front, specifically on the German-language Osmo radio station Soldat and Sender, where it became the station's theme song. The song was re-recorded in English and released, with the spelling Lily Marlene, as a 10th single by Decca in 1945, though other recordings of the song in German were performed by Dietrich. The original OS recording of the track is presumed unissued. Soundtrack performances, 1929 to 1978. Many of Dietrich's performances of songs in her films have been included in compilations of her music. You're the Cream in My Coffee, The Blue Angel Screen Test, 1929. WER Word den Weinen, The Blue Angel Screen Test, 1929. Ich bin die Fesch Lola, Der Blauengel, 1930. Nimm dich in Acht vor blonden Frauen, Der Blauengel, 1930. Kinder, Hut Abend, Das ich mir was aus, Der Blauengel, 1930. Ich bin von Kopf bis Fuss auf Liebe eingestellt, Der Blauengel, 1930. Quand l'amour meurt, Morocco, 1930. What am I bid for my apple, Morocco, 1930. Blonde Women, The Blue Angel, 1930. Lola, The Blue Angel, 1930. This Evening, Children, The Blue Angel, 1930. Falling in Love Again, The Blue Angel, 1930. Hot Voodoo, Blonde Venus, 1932. I Couldn't Be Annoyed, Blonde Venus, 1932. You Little So-and-So, Blonde Venus, 1932. Haydn Rosline, Song of Songs, 1933. Johnny, Song of Songs, 1933. Three Sweethearts Have I, The Devil is a Woman, 1935. Awake in a Dream, Desire, 1936. Little Joe, The Wrangler, Destry Rides Again, 1939. You've Got That Look, Destry Rides Again, 1939. See What the Boys in the Back Room Will Have, Destry Rides Again, 1939. I've Been in Love Before, Seven Sinners, 1940. The Monts in the Navy, Seven Sinners, 1940. Sweet as the Blush of May, The Flame of New Orleans, 1941. He Lied and I Listened, Manpower, 1941. Strange Thing, The Lady is Willing, 1942. Tell Me, Evening Star, Kismet, 1944. Golden Earrings, 1947. Illusions, A Foreign Affair, 1948. Black Market, A Foreign Affair, 1948. The Ruins of Berlin, A Foreign Affair, 1948. La Vie en Rose, Stage Fright, 1950. The Laziest Gal in Town, Stage Fright, 1950. Love is Lyrical, Stage Fright, 1950. Get Away, Young Man, Rancho Notorious, 1952. Gypsy Davy, Rancho Notorious, 1952. Les Deux Cents Fez, The Monte Carlo Story, 1957. Back Home Again in Indiana, The Monte Carlo Story, 1957. I May Never Go Home Anymore, Witness for the Prosecution, 1958. Just a Gigolo, 1978. Selected songs introduced by Marlene Dietrich, 1930. Falling in Love Again, 1930. Naughty Lola, 1930. Blonde Women, 1932. Hot Voodoo, 1932. You Little So-and-So, 1936. Awake in a Dream, 1939. See What the Boys in the Back Room Will Have, 1939. You've Got That Look, 1948. Illusions, 1948. Black Market, 1953. Look Me Over Closely, 1962. Cherche la Rose, 1964. In den Kaisernen,